All right, if you're a student and you're feeling, well, kind of stuck, then this one's for you. We're going to break down a really simple but powerful routine that doesn't need a gym, any fancy equipment, or honestly, even a shred of motivation to get started.
Okay, does this sound familiar? The alarm goes off, and that first feeling you have is just exhaustion, right? The day hasn't even started, and you already feel like you're playing catch up.
You've got this mountain of coursework, right? Lectures to get through, so much to read, but that spark, that drive to actually start any of it, it's just nowhere to be found.
And isn't this the crazy paradox of student life? Your schedule is absolutely packed, you're running from one thing to the next, but at the end of the day, you kind of look back and think, wait, what did I actually get done today? So, what if the fix wasn't some new productivity app or a super intense workout plan? What if it was way, way simpler? The solution is right there, accessible to you this very moment, with nothing more than a park and your own 2 feet. So let's start by just acknowledging this feeling because it is so real. Being a student can be this weird mix of being totally overwhelmed and busy, but also feeling completely stagnant at the same time. This is so important. Let's reframe this whole thing. It's not a character flaw. You are not lazy. What's really happening is your body's inactive from sitting for hours, and your brain is just overloaded with information. It's a physical and a mental state, not some personal failure. So, how do we snap out of it? Well, it all starts with the very first decision you make in the morning. Yeah, even before you grab your phone. This is like hitting the reset button for your brain. And the science here is actually super simple, and it works. Getting outside first thing does 4 things almost instantly. First, sunlight hits your eyes and basically tells your internal clock, hey, it's daytime. Fresh air literally floods your brain with oxygen. The movement wakes up your whole nervous system. And the best part? You get this natural rush of dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals for good mood and focus, all before you've even glanced at your phone. Okay, so the actual plan, it could not be easier. The number one most important rule, do not open social media. Don't let all that chaos into your head before you've even had a chance to ground yourself. Then, just throw on some shoes, get outside, and start moving. This is not a race. You can jog super slow or just walk fast. The only goal is getting out that door. And you gotta remember the main point here. You're not training for a marathon. You're training your brain to follow through on a promise to yourself. The win isn't about how fast you go. The win is showing up, it's putting your shoes on and hearing that door click shut behind you. Okay, so you've got this morning win. Now let's talk about the ripple effect, because this is where the magic really starts to happen. That one small action in the morning gives you this incredible focus edge for your afternoon study time. See, this one little habit starts to create this huge internal shift. Before, you were kind of just waiting around for motivation to show up, but now you're actually creating your own momentum. You shift from being stressed and distracted to being more calm and focused. You're literally rewiring your inner monologue. And this is really what it all boils down to. Every single time you go for that run, you're casting a vote for a new identity, the identity of someone who actually does what they say they're going to do. It's a subtle shift, but it is incredibly powerful. You go from a passive mindset to an active one. All right, so you've won the morning, you've nailed the afternoon, but then the evening hits. And for students, that's often when the overthinking and the burnout really start to creep in. So this is where the second part of our routine comes into play. I love this metaphor. Think of your brain like a web browser. All day long, you're just opening tab after tab after tab. Lectures, assignments, social stuff, worries. An evening walk, that's you intentionally going through and closing each one of those tabs down so your mind can actually rest. And the benefits here are huge, especially for learning. I mean, reducing anxiety, sure, that makes sense. But check this out. It improves memory consolidation. That means the walk actually helps your brain process and lock in what you studied during the day. So it's not just relaxing, it's an active part of your study routine that gets you ready for the next day. Okay, we have talked about the physical stuff, the running, the walking, but the real transformation, that true glow up, that happens on a much deeper level. It's all about your mindset. This is the big idea right here. You're building a consistency muscle, and just like lifting weights, it gets stronger every single time you use it. Every time you go for that run when you'd much rather stay in bed, you're doing one more rep. It's not about some grand, heroic gesture. It's about hundreds of these small, unglamorous decisions to just show up. And this is probably the most important takeaway of all. Real, solid confidence doesn't come from other people telling you you're great. It comes from the quiet trust you build with yourself when you prove day after day that you are someone who follows through. That little park run is a promise you keep to yourself every single morning. All right, enough theory. Let's get super practical and just strip away every single excuse you might have. Here is your dead simple starting plan. Pay close attention to that column on the right. That's your no excuses plan. On those days you're absolutely buried in work, you don't have to skip. The goal isn't perfection, it's just participation. Just walk. Just show up at your desk for 5 minutes. The key is to just not break the chain. Keep that promise to yourself even in its tiniest form. And listen, let's be super clear about this. The point isn't to magically fix your entire life in 1 week. That kind of pressure is exactly why most people quit before they even get started. What you need is just one habit, one little thing that acts like a lever and pulls everything else forward with it. That morning park run, that's the first domino. It makes it easier to focus, it lowers your stress, it helps you sleep better, it pulls everything else in the right direction. So that glow up you're looking for, it's not going to start in a gym with a fancy membership. It starts in a park. It's simple, it's free, and it's waiting right outside your door. So the only real question left is, when are you going to start?